name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Thrain, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, Path of the Giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello, everybody. Hello, greetings, hello there, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces. We are back. We are playing the premier Dungeons & Dragons homebrew campaign, Return of the Giants, coming through the screen to your eyeballs and your ears if you are listening to the podcast, direct, beamed into you, high tech. We are back. We are ready. I don't know what that intro was. I apologize. We are here. We are very, very excited to be jumping in once again to our campaign. It will be a little bit of a smaller group tonight. We are currently down both Dave and Simon, which means I'll be playing the characters of Harry and Ember. Love it when I get to play multiple PCs. I love it when I get to play one PC, let alone multiple PCs. So I'm going to do my very best to limit the amount of time that they spend talking and doing things that they're players are not in control of. We've obviously jumping back in the midst of the fire giant volcano fortress, so we're going to be having a bit of an explore and dealing with that tonight. But luckily we do have Christian, Ali, and Matt once more with me. You will hear their lovely voices as we play the game throughout. In terms of fun announcements on the side, massive thank you to everyone who joined us for the last episode of our Avatar: The Last Airbender TTRPG, The Legacy of Kyoshi last night. Really, really excited to have you join us for episode 40 of our 10 to 12 episode short series. So thank you very much. It was outstanding. Very, very excited to be having a really solid playthrough in the Kyoshi era. One of my favorite playthroughs, favorite eras, the Kyoshi era, and it was a really, really fun campaign. We will be diving back in with more Avatar Legends, the Avatar TTRPG, but not for a little bit. The players have been playing Avatar now for 3 years. So we're going to take a little bit of a break from the Avatar rule set for a moment, play a little bit of D&D. They're going to try a little bit of Tales from the Yawning Portal. We'll do that in extra little pieces, which will be lots of fun. And we will be doing the follow-up to our original Avatar campaign, the Embers of War. That second campaign will be coming out probably in the next 3 to 4 months. I will keep you posted. We do have some more exciting news. We do have a new player joining our Return of the Giants campaign very shortly. I will announce that it is Brandon. Those of you who watch our Avatar series know Brandon well. I am almost finished his artwork for his character. It is, I'm pretty stoked with it. Look, if there's one thing I know how to draw, it's skulls and bones, right? Because that's how I initially learnt to draw, was for anatomy for uni. So as he's playing a necromancer wizard, skulls and bones featured in the motifs, and I was very excited to take advantage of the one thing I know how to draw very, very well. So I will be showing off his artwork very, very shortly. It is well underway. We'll have it jump up in the Discord. I've kind of abandoned Twitter/X because so many reasons. So everything's going to be in the Discord from now on, which is the nice place to be. So if you do want to go check that out, for those of you watching on Twitch, I will send a link through right now. Otherwise, the link will be in the description below. We look forward to seeing you there if you're not already part of the Discord. That's pretty much the only fun news I have to share. Anything fun before we start? Otherwise, I'll dive into the recap and we'll get going. No.
I'm ready.
Happy faces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Alrighty, let me do the recap. Let us dive on in. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Thrain, and Bartholomew have sailed across the waves to the Shattered Isles, making their way to the site of a volcanic eruption. The group have joined Maloran Orc sailors Mac and Setu and their Triton companion Rilia, denizens of the floating city of Seastride. Travelling on the Orcs' raft toward the town of Heatmeave, the team was surprised to find the town completely abandoned, the evacuation having only begun the prior night. Exploring the town, the team faced off against ash mephits and cinder zombies, the only creatures seemingly left inside the village. With the last of the zombies falling to their magic, the team then focused their attention on further investigations. Ember noting the ash smelt like it was contaminated with something. Suspecting either devilish involvement or something similar, the team decided to make their way to the church where Niles and Bart thought they might have seen signs of survivors. Unfortunately, the church held only the corpses of those who had tried to seek refuge there, killed by clouds of choking fumes gathered inside the chapel. Tracing the magic to the body of a priest in the nearby rectory, the group figured out this priest had attempted to clear the poisonous smog from the eruption, but in his haste, misperformed the spell. With the ritual interrupted by the team, the noxious gases once again began to flow freely through the town, driving them back to the docks, the air growing harder to breathe and the ash falling faster and faster. Regrouping with the Maloran orcs and their Triton friend, the group sped over the ocean toward the foothill of the volcanic island, skirting the edge of the falling ash and staying upwind of the toxic air. Beaching the boat on the blackened sand, the party could spy a large archway embossed with chromatic metal set into the side of the volcano's base. The party briefly discussed their options, Figment revealing he could potentially trigger a giant dream to show them the events of the past that had led to the situation now before them. Deciding it was safest to do this inside the volcano, the team pushed the enormous doors aside and began to enter the dark corridor beyond, when a sudden roar echoed through the hallways. Suitably spooked, the team took a slower approach into the tunnels, eventually finding a corridor branching off the main hallway, leading to a storage hall, seemingly a safe place to rest. Settling down and hidden behind a wall of stone shaped by Lyra's magic, the team entered another giant dream, this one starting sometime after the signing of the Olthing Treaty. Met by Lady Surta, leader of the Fire Giants, the team were guided deep into the heart of a chain of volcanoes and the hidden forges at their center. But this was not their final destination. Instead, a hidden passageway opening to reveal a vast chamber, a metal hexagonal platform suspended above a lake of lava. Nearby, several Fire Giant Forge Masters were hard at work, smelting the inanium into sections to assemble the siphon rings, the vast structure the team had witnessed at the peak of the volcano. Speaking with Lady Surta and Forge Master Brynja, the team learned the rings allowed for the drawing of raw energy from the elemental planes, without allowing the movement of matter between, like portals. The team did their best to try and discover any possible issues or weaknesses with the rings, even going so far as to cast a zone of truth, angering the Forge Masters, but the Fire Giants believed the design to be without issues. The giant dream then jumped forward in time a little, showing the team the showing the team the activation of the rings to an assembly of giants from all clans, the power lighting up a series of volcanoes around the rim of the caldera. Awakening back in the depths of the volcano, the team quickly resolved to check the nearby barrels for any useful materials before heading towards the source of the almighty roar, still occasionally echoing down the dark corridors beyond. And that is where we left off last session. As we jump back in, I believe, Bartholomew, you had just tried to open one of the metal containers using your crowbar. Unfortunately, a less than ideal roll had caused your crowbar to break off part of the barrel and part of your crowbar to be warped and damaged. And as it dropped to the ground out of your fingers with a large clatter and clang, you hear this metallic series of clangs echo through the room and down the corridor beyond. In that moment of silence, as everyone kind of pauses, holding their breath, count 1 heartbeat, 2 heartbeats, and then you hear that sound again. From further down the corridor. And that is the exact moment we left off last session. As you all kind of stand there, the last vestiges of that roar echoing, you watch as Harry slowly moves behind Ember and crouches down, trying to hide.
Sorry, guys. I don't know if it's coming this way. Maybe we just sit tight and hide for maybe 5-10 minutes, see if it passes by or makes its way here. And I'm going to start desperately looking left and right for something big to hide behind.
The barrels themselves are probably the largest thing in the room. Remember, the entry to the corridor is currently blocked off with Lyra's shape stone.
Yeah.
Using her shape stone. It has actually filled in that corridor to hide it from view.
I mean, it can probably knows we're here. I'm sort of whispering this as well, like sort of not trying to give our position away too much, but I mean, it probably knows, whoever it is, that we're here.
It
Why
might just
don't
think
we-
that maybe something clunked and fell down. We still don't know if this thing is a friend or not.
Maybe just go say hi. I mean, would it be, would they be less mad at finding us sort of all hiding out here in their place, I guess, or...
I don't know. What if they could be friendly now after the divisions, and maybe they're trying to turn off the volcano? But what if it's the opposite? What if this is some psycho turning on the volcano to kill people? He's not going to be happy to see people here trying to stop it. Especially small folk. Those giants seemed very racist towards humanoid species.
Yeah, but I mean,
Especially the fire giants. Serto, she was very looking down on anything that wasn't even the other giants.
You haven't met the cloud giants yet. Holy fucking shit.
I don't want to attack the individual, but I don't know if we just rock up and say, hey.
Very true, but I mean,
Hey,
I guess we just
what a
do-
wonderful candidate.
I know, I'd rather get Harry getting some eyes on first. I don't want it seeing us first.
Oh, very clever. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel great about the idea of wandering down the corridor on my own, despite how stealthy I am. But if you think that's a good idea, I can go at least have a bit of a look. You'll have to make a hole in your wall, though, Lyra, that I can squeeze through.
Thinking, Ember, you can look through the eyes of Flicker, can't you? I mean, we could maybe... They're not as stealthy, but... Maybe... I don't know, even something with Harry just as a little bit of extra backup? I don't know.
You watch as
Yeah,
Ember
and I
nods. It's not a bad idea, because I can always have Flicker teleport Harry at least a little bit of distance, get him moving quite quickly.
Yeah. And so, in the bottom of the sort of the wall that I've made, I'm going to try and make a Flicker/Harry-sized mini door at the very bottom.
6 seconds. You can check that easily with mold earth. As you create this hole, Lyra, could you make me a perception check?
And check. No more. Unless I'm listening for it.
11. It's interesting as you mold the earth away. Again, there's that unearthly silence from down the corridors.
If it is a listening one, I can do another roll because it's with advantage from the.
Oh, it is listening.
audible
Yes,
pattern.
then absolutely. Yes, sorry. Then yes, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
13.
Not much
Marginally better. You can hear. No, that is the difference. 12 is the DC, so that's fantastic. The cabling that is set into the ceiling above you. You're not sure if you could hear this before, whether this was active before or maybe not, but there's now a low hum as you sort of pause in the quiet aftermath of that enormous roar. You can hear this sort of like a hum, a vibration running through those cables set into the ceiling above. And as you look very closely, you occasionally see little flashes of light in these little gaps along the sides. It's faint, but it seems like there is something has activated or maybe has always been. You're not sure. You've only just noticed this now.
The lights were on when we were walking down the corridor previously, so there must have been power running through
Occasionally
it. So it's
flickering,
sort of
but yeah.
a different kind of light now to when we were walking
Hard
down the corridor.
to say. This is the first time it's been really silent and you've not been moving around or doing things with magic. This is kind of the first time you've really stopped in that silence to listen. So this might have been active the whole time, but the thing is, it's more noticeable for sure. Or maybe you were just distracted earlier.
This random spitball idea while we're waiting for Harry and Flicker to sort of report back, but you don't suppose there's any, like, these lights and everything, they're being powered by the ring that's drawing power from the fire and elemental plane, right? You don't suppose that the fire giant could be stuck in there, like, some kind of electrocution kind of deal, like
in the plane itself.
Maybe not in the plane, maybe even halfway through in the aperture of the portal, just kind of... I mean, the roars do seem kind of like a painful, ouchy kind of roar.
I thought you and the others through Riz's scouts saw it in our world, the giant.
Would it have been stuck recently, like trying to get in to maybe change a rune, repair something?
Ember's still in the room with you. Ember had a conversation with his friend from the Druid circle. Ember nods. Yeah, no, my friend, he said he saw a fire giant standing on the borders of the island with a volcano, moving around the side of the island, and then I think he said it was minutes later the volcano began erupting. The ground began to shake, fire began to spew from the surface. But he definitely said he saw a fire giant, a male, hair aflame, wearing dark armor.
I mean,
There might be one trapped on the other side, and maybe its kin is trying to rescue it, but...
Or he's tried to get the power running back up in this place, turns on what he thinks is the power source without realizing how badly it's degraded, and kind of got himself stuck in the process, maybe. I don't know. I think the fire shouldn't really be happening, right?
We have so little knowledge about this that we're really only going to find out once we get there.
I agree. Sorry. I was enjoying some rations.
As Niles brushes some crumbs and some seeds off his beak. Actually, no, sorry, you're an Owlin. You watch as Niles brushes some fur off his beak, coughs up a little pellet in the corner. All good to go.
Harry and Flicker are scouting ahead. After the crowbar mishap has sort of maybe lured the creature in our direction, whatever it is.
Yes, that wasn't ideal. But Lyra, I heard you say about the volcano. Well, lack thereof, sorry, I should say. I do recall in the giant dream that we just had, they mentioned that, due to the degradation of the ring, it could cause unforeseen issues. It could be a byproduct of the degradation to the structure that could be causing this. It may not be firing as intended, so to speak. If there's an issue with it, it could be having this sort of byproduct, which is less than desirable. That's my, read on the situation. But Bart's right. We won't really understand until we confront this being and talk it out, I suppose. Don't really want to go fighting anything or anyone if we can avoid it.
I know the giant. Can we hear any footsteps or anything, like sort of giant-sized footsteps approaching?
As you pay attention, once again, no longer talking to your companions. I mean, you have to head back to the hole and place your ear up to it, the hole that you've created for Harry and Flicker to push through. As you go and listen, no. But you can hear that low hum once again. And something else as well. This crackling noise every so often. And it's at that point you watch as Harry immediately, kind of surprising you, scuttles back through the hole right as you got your ear down to listen. Kind of goes move, scuttles back in with Flicker on his shoulder and goes, yeah, there's a cloud giant here. She was floating down the corridor on a cloud, and she's gone further beyond. Yeah, she was sort of floating on a cloud.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, she was really tall, and she was surrounded by clouds. So I figured she was a cloud giant rather than a storm giant. Just sort of hovering. Yeah. So I came back to tell you straight away. I don't think she saw me or heard me. I was pretty quiet.
Harry, do you know how far away this cloud giant is?
Well, she was moving pretty quickly, and I sort of poked my head out as she'd already gone past our little side corridor, but it looked like she was sort of headed straight down towards the source of that big roar. Actually, I should roll a stealth check for Harry. I said that she didn't see him. Let's roll a stealth check. Let's see. He's got a +9. I think it'll be fine. Please roll a natural one. Please roll a natural one. 12. Okay.
Oh, no. That's bad.
I rolled a 3 on that dice. That is not good.
I think it always happens when you roll for Harry. I think he's rolled terribly on his stealth rolls when you've controlled him for some reason.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He did the same thing in the Underdark when he's accidentally fell down
the
cliff.
Yeah, I'm not very stealthy when I'm being puppeted by this cunt.
DM.
Hello.
Our knowledge around the cloud giants also wanting these rings for the plane of water, is that knowledge that you just told us as the players and not things we've actually found out in game yet? I forget. Did we?
No, that was in game. That was during the giant dream. That was Lady Sirta said there are applications here beyond even just forging. Like if you tap into the elemental plane of water and fire together, you've now got steam you can use to power engines. You can basically she's
Lyra's
kind of going through.
Giant Echo is a cloud giant too. So yeah.
Okay.
She knows that.
And even before that, when Figment was sort of telling us what he knew about them, Figment mentioned that the cloud giants were known to have a couple of those working portals before the big poofening.
Lyra, if this is a cloud giant...
Sorry. What did you just call it?
The poofening, when all the giants went poof.
The vanishing? Poofening? Yeah. There's so many better words, man.
Well, the vanishing makes me think of the snap, and then, I was trying to come up with a different word.
Look, in my defense, we had this happen before Avengers even came. Before it came out, we had the giants vanishing in a single... this was all way before Avengers came out. So in my defense...
I like the name The Poofening.
Fuck.
It's very...
Yes, that's a good one. I like that as well. We'll have all the scholars about that. I think that will be the official term to be used.
Well,
I hadn't come up with an official name for it, so it's my fault.
Lara, I did want to check, though. Me and Harry have done this before when we were obviously in the Underdark trying to glean information that maybe our stones held in them. With your experience around cloud giants so far, is it going to be friendly, unfriendly?
Less friendly than the stone giants probably were. I mean, just going off general vibes of other cloud giants that I sort of have been getting, but
because for context, this is outside of game. Sinmari is a storm giant, right? Same as her father. Yep. Okay.
Sort of focusing on the stone and sort of somehow see if I can sort of tap in a little bit and just get a vibe check.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to be important information. Just how they socialize with one another would probably tell us a lot. I guess a close, fond memory of your giants.
Yeah. Do you want to do
anything that could help?
Do you want to do an insight check?
Insight check. Oh yes.
I know as a druid you'd prefer it to be wisdom based. 22.
That's pretty good.
22 is all right. As you focus, you still have the fleeting remnants of that connection to Corius active in your mind, Lyra. I mean, you were just inhabiting the body of this giant, living through their life, seeing through their eyes in the distant past, in the giant dream. The fleeting vestiges of that connection are still there. And as you focus and reflect, you're wanting to sort of do a bit of a check and see how the cloud giant would respond to you, your friends, or to... just so that I know exactly what to give you information-wise.
Yeah, so sort of probably us, the party, but then also maybe if they have an idea of what the cloud giant would be down here for. Are they going to be picking a fight with the fire giant that's already here? Would they be willing to repair it to sort of help control the lava coming out?
So you remember from the giant dream when you connected with Corius, you knew that there was a secret deal beyond the binds of the all thing between the fire giants and the cloud giants to get them a number of these rings before there had been the announcement, before there had been any big official word, and that these would be off the books, so to speak, that these energy siphons would be kept secret. Specifically, one of each type arranged in a bit of a connection point for the sorcerers and the mages of the cloud giants to be able to draw upon the raw elemental weave, be able to perform acts of great and terrible magic. If there's a cloud giant here, it is unlikely that it is for a polite chat. Cloud giants are arrogant, they are overbearing. If a cloud giant is here, it is for a purpose, and it will have a goal in mind that it will want to be achieved, and it will be very clear. There will not be negotiation, there will not be moving around that. For a cloud giant to come here personally means there's something here they want, and they are going to leave with it.
They're not going to be super friendly probably towards us then.
Cloud giants view small folk, and you feel this in that moment as you connect with Corius. As you look around at your party, still feeling some of Corius's emotions, there's a moment of disgust. Pests have infiltrated this forge. And then you sort of shake that feeling off as you disconnect from Corius once again. Yeah, you don't get the sense that there's going to be it's not going to be a warm welcome. It's going to be much more of a, like you finding ants in your larder, or like a rat in your roof. Rat's just trying to find a nice warm place to live, but it's
My roof, you're not.
Exactly, right? Like, yeah, there's this idea of this is our space. How dare you infiltrate it? And guys are in a Fire Giant's Forge. Now, is it going to be more protective of a Fire Giant's Forge than a Cloud Giant Castle? Fuck no. No. It's not going to give anywhere near as much of a shit. But at the end of the day, in the hierarchy of giants, small folk are very much at the bottom of that pecking order. Not even in the pecking order. And it's going to be, you think, less than pleased to find small folk inside a giant's forge.
In that case, guys,
Most likely.
I think we need to try and somehow quietly get those barrels open, because we're going to have something of value. I'm thinking we're probably going to need more of this ore if we're going to repair this ring. They've probably got degraded rings as well, so maybe they're out of ore and they've come here asking the fire giants to maybe make more. I don't know, but if we've got some of this, we can be like, hey, we've got this for you. Please don't squish us.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
I don't
anyone
mind
has
that
any better
idea.
ideas.
It sounds like a good merchant idea. I'm on board. I think making some sort of bargain or trade's always a good idea, as Harry nods.
Yeah, you did say it was a giant-sized barrel. Would we be able to fit one of these barrels into a bag of holding, or is it too large?
It's too wide. The bag of holding's mouth is only... I don't think it's even that wide, the bag of holding mouth, is it? Let me pull it open really quickly and I'll double check. 2 feet in diameter at the mouth. Yeah, nowhere near.
So yeah, we've got to get a lid off, because even if we just got a sample,
Even a normal barrel would be a stretch to squeeze inside a bag of holding through the mouth. 2 feet wide. Like, maybe just. These are massive. These giant metal canisters. They're enormous.
Look, we don't need to bring the entire thing. If we like this thing, yes, and then we can tell them that we know where more is located. It might not want to bargain, but this isn't bargaining. It's a promise.
Yeah.
In that moment, all of the lights go out, plunging you into pitch blackness.
Oh,
There's
dear.
a momentary pause, a low rumble, and then the lights flicker on again, but this time far dimmer, far less bright.
It's obviously doing something. It's testing with the ring.
We gotta move fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we getting this jar open? Barrel open?
Yes. I'm gonna grab my bent crowbar and just try one more time.
Yeah, go for it. Make me an athletics
Yeah.
check, please.
It'll probably break it if I fail, but I doubt I'm gonna get that horribly again.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we can help in some way, like steadying the barrel or...
21. I'm fine.
All G. I'm going to say it's a different barrel because we did sort of talk about the lip of that barrel being deformed. As you move over to the next barrel in line, reach in and crack it open. With a groan, the lid begins to drop. Ember rushes forward and catches it as it goes to fall, slowly lowering it to the ground. And as you look inside, you can see that it is filled with what looks like slag. Sections of semi-molted rock mixed with probably ore as you look at it. But it is unprocessed, unrefined. It is, barrel full of essentially slag.
Look, just to see if it interacts a little bit, I'd like to try humming just for a brief second, and I guess maybe clawing the top with my hand, humming the giant melody.
So the tone that you'd heard before that the Forge Masters were humming under their breath to mix the alloy when it was in that molten form was almost like an insanely low note. As you go to try and match it, can you make me a performance check? Unfortunately, you're at a disadvantage of this because the natural biology of your throat, the anatomy of your throat and vocal cords actually struggles to get this low.
What's the other dice? It's a 4 and a something, but I'm thinking of using a 4 and an 18. I'm going to use my inspiration to try to meet in the middle, because I reckon I could get a good check here.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so in the middle is a 20.
Okay.
Good work.
As you lean your head back and begin creating this note. It is a low hum that builds in your chest, and you feel that resonance rise. It takes you a moment to find the note as you move up a little bit and then down a little bit, struggling just on the edge of what your vocal cords can accomplish. And as you finally hit that note, this do, for a moment, the sound is echoed back at you, a little bit louder as it resonates with the ore in front of you, and you watch, almost imperceptibly, a vibration over the surface of it.
That's fine. Bart's happy with that. I just wanted to test if this is something that our species was capable of, or if we were reliant on giants. I'll scoop a bit of it into like a water skin. I've got tons of water skins. I've got so many of them prepared. I'll scoop this into one of my 6 water skins and pop that on my belt.
You can add to your water skin unrefined adamantine/electrum slag.
Just to be clear, we are negotiating with the cloud giant, right?
No, not negotiating, if that's what you said,
Gift.
right, Lyra?
Gift.
Yeah.
Gift.
They don't negotiate.
We're here to be helpful.
Giant, right?
Yep. We're here to be
Us
helpful.
negotiating
without
for it,
expectation.
do not mention that word.
Okay, sorry. I won't. I will refrain from that. But no, I just wasn't just making sure. The fire giant obviously knows this. Well, I would assume he would know that it was here, storeroom and all that. I think that would be rather strange trying to gift a fire giant something that he rightfully owns.
Well, I wonder, how clear was the vision that you saw with Riz through his creature? Was it a fire giant, or was it just a giant? You said it was a humanoid figure that looked like a giant very far in the middle of the mountain, right?
Ember's friend said fiery hair and all. I mean, I feel like it'd be a bit of a stretch for a cloud giant to.
Unless it's two beings, maybe
Yeah,
Ember's
I think
friend
it's
saw
two.
one, and the vision could be another. It's
I think
possible.
it's very possible.
Is it like the ore mixes you're talking about, or is this unrefined enamium?
So anamium is the alloy of adamantine and electrum. So yes, it is.
Okay.
You've now seen the forging process from start to finish. I'm going to say you now know the secret of forging anamium. Impossibly high heat. You're not 100% sure of the ratio of electrum to adamantine, but you know that there is a ratio there that's used, and then that tone to cause them to mix. Yeah.
Okay, one was.
Just had another thought, guys.
Yes.
The other thing that we do have a value to the cloud giant / fire giant is our current connection with the stone giants. I'm not sure how much connected they all are since all coming back, but maybe it could be a kind of thing where we're like, oh, hey, we know where they are. We can talk to them. We can be your messengers or something.
We are on good terms with the stone giants. By all.
Yeah.
Would they have much use of the hill giants, or is that not really a thing they would want?
Doubt it.
Unlikely.
But the stone giants.
The hill giants.
were
I've seen the hill giants in any of our flashbacks.
Yeah, well, the hill giants are, well, according to the old thing, I think they're quite low on the pecking
I think they're a rung above us.
They don't even have a member in our party of these ambassadors.
No.
No.
Which is a
So
bit sad, really. The
Bart
hill
wasn't
giants.
there for that conversation, but the Hill Giants sent a representative. The representative was denied entry.
Wow, but that's rough for a race.
Which, now that you mention it, the hill giants were quite impressive. Gunglot and her companions were, by all means, quite accommodating and rather good allies to have, I would have thought. I hope they're faring okay, and hopefully their civil war is going well. Don't know if that's the word for it.
Okay, well, at least we have some ideas of what to mention, what not to mention. Harry, maybe you just don't talk.
Yep, can do. Happy to accommodate that.
Lovely.
So we probably shouldn't tell her about Figment then, hey?
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Keep it on the down low.
I'd even maybe, to begin with, I'd be trying to keep our hands covered if we can.
Oh, you don't want to give that away at all?
Maybe until we get a better read on sort of
If it thinks of
how...
us as rat and vermin, it might think of this as some sort of like heresy
Terminate.
almost.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
we
you
keep it as
reckon-
a backup. It could be
Yeah.
something that we could use to try and help negotiate and.
Once we've gauged a little more with it.
Yeah. So we're not complete vermin. We're civilized vermin in their eyes.
Oh yeah, that's what people call me
It's
sometimes. Yeah. Do you
I
reckon
know that
it's
sounds
worth?
normal, but
No, you go.
sorry. I was just gonna say, if I saw a rat come into my house wearing a tuxedo, it still would just be a rat in my eyes. I don't know.
I
if
would say
that
that
Oh,
was a
I'd have
pretty
so many
impressive
questions.
rat.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in finding out that rat's life story.
Come, sit down. You must be caught. I'd
I'd
You
be
must
pulling
be
out my
wet from
chef's
those
hat. I'd be
travels.
placing it on my head, putting a chef's hat on top, and I'd be ready to open my own restaurant.
crack open my finest bottle for you. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Tell me your story, Rattus, please. Come take a seat. Oh, do you reckon it's worth maybe, I don't know, maybe this is because I'm a stealthy little boy? Do you reckon it's worth maybe just like wandering in, or do you think we should sort of have a bit of a look first, see what this giant's doing, just to get a bit of a lay of the land? Like maybe if they're doing things that look pretty bad, like I don't know, what if we walk in and she's like beheading people or something? We probably don't want to announce ourselves.
I was thinking the same thing exactly. Before we enter in any of the rooms, I would like you to do a check similar to what we just did.
Yep,
Just to be
I'm
safe.
up for that.
Do you can
Sounds
do it
good.
safely?
Yep, I'll give it a go. I was pretty stealthy last time. I'm sure I can maintain that level of stealth.
Okay.
What else fails? I'm pretty stealthy as well. So. I think we
Well, do
should
you
be
want to come with me then,
I-
so it's not just me? That way, if I get into trouble, you can do like flying around distractions, and then I can run away like a little bunny.
Sure. I mean, the last time I did put myself up for scouting duties, I nearly got vaporized by a Behir's laser beam. Or lightning beam, I should say.
Oh yeah, but I don't think there's
So-
any behirs in here. I haven't seen any.
Oh, well, there's only
That's
a
a
fire
joke,
giant
isn't
and a cloud giant. What could go
Yeah,
wrong?
but they don't have lightning breath, do they?
I'm going to
Find
I'm
out.
not sure if they do or not. Niles, if you go, I'm just going to stay as literally far back as I can, which will probably be about maybe 110 feet.
Oh, yes, you want to...
I'm going to link with you, and I don't want this. I don't want to change into the studded leather because I feel like I will need this plate if we come into a fight. But I am very noticeable right now.
Yes. I would be cautious if you were trying to be stealthy at the moment, my friend.
Okay, let's get going.
Alright.
We don't have time to waste,
Alright.
especially with the flickers.
Harry, if you want to lead the way, I'll cover you.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. Alrighty, could I please
Okay.
get a stealth check from Harry and Niles?
Okay.
He sounds so excited. 20, unnatural from Harry. Here we go. We're back. We're back.
We're so back.
We're so back.
What do you mean we're so back? You
Oh,
still only rolled a 9. You rolled under average.
So true. No, 11! We're so cooked.
I'm going to use my advantage and roll that again because I feel like that's probably an important roll to get right.
That's probably fair. I can't fault you on that. Some solid logic there.
I did one better. Let's go.
12.
Oh no.
Let's rock and fucking roll.
Yeah.
As the two of you make your way into the corridor, Lyra, I'm assuming you open up the stone so people don't have to crawl on their hands and knees. For Bart, that'd be a bit of an exercise in making as much noise as possible in his plate mail as he tries to scrape through the narrow aperture.
One of our many druids needs to take pass without a trace.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Do
Let me
I?
see if Ember has it. To be fair, Ember might have it. I don't think he does though. Ember very much has built I shoot fire. This is my build.
I did have it for a while, and I think I dropped it for a day.
Look, do you know
I
what?
dropped it for more firepower.
Ember definitely.
I do have pass without a trace.
Hey!
But you do.
Yeah, I can
That's funny.
cast it if we need.
Ember definitely does not have it.
That's
Maybe as we're just about to enter the main room.
Yeah.
Ember does have speak with animals though, so if you find a particularly
Ah.
chatty rat in a tuxedo, you guys are on. Like, you're gonna have a full conversation.
That's so
I've been
good.
using my mouse on the other side of the computer. Is that better?
It is, yeah. It's all good. It was
Okay.
so fun before.
it is better.
Niles and Harry, as the two of you take the lead, Ember, Ember, Bart and Lyra sticking close together. Ember, yeah, Thrain's not back yet. News on that front, we might be seeing Thrain again very soon. I had a chat with Jared recently.
Hey,
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be seeing him again soon. As Bart, Lyra, and Ember take the back, Niles and Harry, you begin to scoot forwards. The corridor continues on, with the lights occasionally flickering, with that much dimmer glow coming from them. You can't see as far ahead as you could before. And as you continue on, you pass by a number of other branching corridors leading off this main hallway. But this hallway leading into the center of the mountain, Harry was convinced that was the direction that the Cloud Giant was going. But there's no footprints. There's no marks in the dust that would indicate the passage of the Cloud Giant. Harry's report was that they were floating on their own cloud, hovering in place, which makes it very hard to track exactly where they went. But there are still signs, Harry occasionally pointing out little disruptions in the dust as if wind has blown through, pointing out that probably there wouldn't be much wind inside the volcano. So it does give you a bit of help with navigation. As you move forwards, the passageway opens up into a far less worked, far more natural cavern. And you can see this enormous opening is lit from above by this orange-red glow. The volcano, this internal section, you think you might be in a chamber underneath the main caldera. You can't see the peak. The roof above constricts and narrows into this sort of almost bulbous-like arched roof. There are sections where molten rock has flown and dripped down the sides, but solidified long ago, creating these very organic walls all the way down the side. And before you, as you get to the entrance, moving very, very quiet, you can see a slight slope down towards the edge of a massive pool of bubbling lava. But it's very, very inactive. The pool itself looks like it once filled this chamber, but now is almost drained. Walking around the edge, holding aloft a series of illusions rising from the giant stone in their hand, you see a female cloud giant, dressed in these very ornate robes, pinned at different points by silver clasps that flow over her body, constantly moving and swaying in this phantom breeze. Light bluish-grey skin, white hair occasionally shifting and turning in this, again, this phantom kind of breeze. Very large and flowing, forming this very cloud-like shape around her. Occasionally streaks of grey, this sort of darker storm-like colour moving through it. As she sort of strides across the surface, hovering about 10 feet off the ground, stepping from cloud to cloud, which forms around her feet as she moves. You can hear her muttering to herself as she checks the back of her hand occasionally, swiping on this screen that appears in front of her heartstone, pressing buttons, changing things, and the object of her attention appears to be half sunk into the center of this lava lake. An enormous black metallic structure, hexagonal in nature, with pipes and tubings emerging from the sides of it, twisting and snaking around itself. The cabling that is going through the roof, you can see rises up to the top, disappearing through into a chamber above, and dangling down, hovering, is a sparking section of cable, clearly that's being disconnected. You occasionally see flashes of electricity pulsing along its edge. Looking at it, looks like it links up to this device, whatever it is that has sunk into the lava lake below. You can see this cloud giant occasionally pacing as she looks at the screen, then at the thing in the device sunk into the lava lake, muttering under her breath. That is what you see.
The device in the lake, is it like large for a giant? Or is it
large for you guys? Like, for a giant, it's about the same size as her. So, what's that? 20-something feet tall, maybe 10 feet wide. I mean, it's hard to say. Actually, it's hard to say how tall and wide it is because it disappears into the lake below. But the bit that's emerging, yeah, I mean, it's about the same size as her.
Okay. Interesting. And the cloud giant, does she seem like what's the vibe check from her?
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Inconvenienced.
Yeah. Okay. I just look at Harry and sort of whisper, what do we do?
Should we go report back to the others, let them know what we've seen so they know what's happening? Wait, but didn't you link with Bart? You could just tell him in your mind.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Bart, if you're there, can you hear me?
You're
You're muted. You can't hear me. Oh no.
What? Hello? Hello? I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm still new to using this.
Oh, that's okay.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, are you safe? Is everything okay?
Harry and I have taken up positions. We can see the cloud giant. She seems, I guess, annoyed. She's using her heartstone. She's looking like she's trying to fix something. Maybe there's some sparks from some sort of from the cabling, some sort of device that's submerged in the lava. Seems like she's trying to fix things. Maybe
Is she alone?
Yes, I believe so.
Is it dark in there? Maybe get Harry's eyes to search the space quickly. We as far as we know, at least from several sources, there should be that fire giant.
Yeah, good idea. I mean, the glow from the lava is giving us a bit of a vision, but I'm sure that Harry's eyes are a bit more well suited to these environments. I'll let him know. See if he can see anything else.
I don't want us to hone in on one thing and not check our surroundings.
Okay. Breaking out of the link, I turn to Harry. Bart says to maybe use your devil's your devil's sight, I think you've called it, or your night vision. I don't know what you want to call it.
My
you used
figment
back
vision.
in the village.
Yeah.
Your figment vision. Okay, yeah.
Well,
See if you can see.
Just calling it that for the first time today. I don't know how it sounds. I don't know if I love it.
I think it works. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Let me have a bit of a look. That's a 10 for Harry's perception check. No, it's all clear. Looks like there's some big doors maybe over the other side, but I can't see much else in here. Looks pretty chill.
You sure you can't see the other fire giant anywhere?
No, pretty sure I can't see it.
Go back to the link. Harry can't see anything else. Maybe some doors to the back of the chamber, but definitely no fire giant.
Okay. We'll make our way up now.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll need to be too still from the sound. If it seems frustrated, maybe we just start parlaying. I'll let the others know. We can come up with a plan. But yeah, come back to us.
Oh, okay.
I'll relay all of that to the others as they're coming back.
Yeah, I'll just let Harry know we fall back.
Right. As you make your way back, you hear the sound of groaning metal for a moment, and as you watch, you can see that this giant metal sunken device is. You watch as the cloud giant waves her hand, and an enormous illusionary version of her hand begins to coalesce around her, formed from the clouds and steam in the air, until an enormous magical hand, covered in the same lines and glowing tattoos that are on her upper body around her arms, reaches down into the lava and begins to raise this massive metal device up. And as it slowly lifts it up, you watch as she moves it into position, and that cabling snaps in, almost like magnetized in, connecting to it, as she slowly then lowers it down onto the surface of the lava once again with this enormous hand.
We've seen this before.
Have we?
Yeah, during the celebration announcement, as there was the 4 of them, I think, and fire giants started using their elemental powers to attach each of them, like power cables.
Oh yeah, you're right. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, not the first time you've seen this. As you continue to make your way back to the rest of the group, as you move away, you hear the sound of grinding stone and metal behind you, and once again the lights flicker for a moment, and this time return brighter than ever. This flaring light that illuminates everything around you, momentarily blinding you before going back to that dull glow once again.
Seems like the flow of power is not quite regulated. It seems to be flaring and then dying down. It's like it's not being able to be controlled properly.
We might have a better guess right now. I think you're on the mark. What if what's happening right now with the ash, it might be a malfunction, but it might also simply just be that this isn't turned on properly right now. It's half open. And what if once this does fully get turned on, that is Ember's vision? Something's gone awry right now. They're half trying to turn it on and it's not working. And when it does turn on, whatever has gone awry, this malfunction is going to create the spew of fire that Ember sees.
Oh, we need to go and talk right now then.
A airship crash moments away from happening.
I mean,
Okay,
that's a
let's go.
catastrophic event you're talking about. Yeah, let's go. Let's tell this
We have to
lady to
lose.
stop.
Yeah, but
It's gonna go well.
Bartle head first with wearing the plate armor and hopefully with some good persuasion, maybe being able to smooth things over here. I guess we'll just walk straight up to her.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Wearing a tuxedo. Let's go.
Rat in a tuxedo.
Let's go.
As you all begin to stride forwards, not making any effort to hide yourselves, as you emerge back into the corridor, looking down towards this enormous chamber, the cloud giant that you saw there before is gone. Instead, you see an enormous fire giant standing next to this contraption, turning around facing you. And as you step through, you watch as the fire giant pauses for a moment, looks and goes,
You're not who I was expecting here. What are you small folk doing here?
We're here to help.
Fire giants have no need of your help. Leave at once or I will incinerate you.
We've brought some more of the resources that you're requiring. The anamium? I'll pull like a drop onto, I guess, like a feather on my hand.
I was not aware that my kin were using small folk as servants, slaves, helpers.
That might be the case. We were asked to come here by a cloud giant.
make me a deception check, please.
Fuck.
Just a flat out lie.
Wow.
20.
Oh, it's pretty good though.
You watch as the fire giant turns, the beard glowing softly with this red glow, the dark metal plate armor reflecting the light from this flaming hair.
Which cloud giant? Name them, small one.
They said we were too unimportant to know their name. A woman wearing royal-looking clothing.
That's good. That's good. That's real good.
Did this woman... Did she have a brand on her face? You would call it a tattoo. Spiral-like pattern on her cheek.
Did Harry and I see that?
No. No, she had some spiral-like tattoos on her arms, the woman you saw before, but
do you tell me that through the link?
Yeah, I will. I'll say she didn't have a mark on her face, just tattoos on her hand.
No, the only thing around her face was like a storm that was her hair. She had it on her arm. markings.
Silence! You're not helping me narrow down who this was.
I'm sorry.
I will take this information from your minds. Hold still.
he watches the fire giant strides forwards, raises up their hands, and casts a spell. Bart, me boy, you've been the one doing most of the talking, and you're the one who said that a cloud giant sent you.
Yeah, cool.
This is a detect thoughts spell to try and push deeper to see what's going on underneath the surface.
Okay.
Could I please get you to make for me, I believe it is a wisdom save if I'm correct. Yes, please. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I have a... Nah, it's okay.
What have you thought of, Matt?
An 18. Does that save?
That is the DC.
Okay.
You watch as the fire giant pauses confused for a moment. What are your surface thoughts before we go any further?
Look, my surface thoughts are still around, I guess, worry, stress, and then wanting to help with Ember. So it would be, I'm feeling a lot of fear and anxiousness right now, and I'm wanting to assist if I can.
Okay.
I will interject with my memory link quickly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Niles will say, try and think of the memories of your giant to confuse him.
I don't know. I feel like my memories are kind of solid. Like right now, we would be afraid and wanting to help, right?
But Etringer might not be. Huh?
Mm. Okay. I guess. Look, I don't know if this works with detect thoughts, but I'll allow her to like probe my mind as if I'm weak for half a moment, but just towards memories of our interactions with the current stone giants, the two royal guards,
cool.
and the seer that we met.
Nice.
You watch.
I have their names in my notes, but I just their images is what comes to mind.
You watch as the fire giant looks very confused for a moment, slowly lowers their hand, having cast these series of runes in the air to cast Detect Thoughts.
What are you? You have not come here at the behest of a cloud giant, have you? You dally with giant kin. Stone I see in your mind, and you are strong enough to resist my magic. There is more to you than meets the eye.
Very wise. We work for quite a few giants.
Which giants?
Well, obviously any of them other than the hill giants. We haven't had contact, however, with any of the storm.
So you claim friendship, or at least servitude, to stone, fire, frost, and cloud.
Not frost either, and actually, now that you mention it, we haven't heard from them at all.
Ah. Interesting.
Earth, fire, and air, I guess, would be the three.
You watch as the form of the fire giant shifts and ripples for a moment, and as it fades away, the illusion disappearing, you see the cloud giant woman you saw before.
Okay.
Okay, that was cool.
Perhaps you can be of use to me. Have you seen any fire giants around here? You have been here for some time. Your memories are jumbled, but I saw glimpses of something.
So I'm just taking notes because it's just occurred to me that obviously she potentially has beef with a cloud giant with a tattoo on her face, and that might be useful to us in the future.
Yeah.
Might come in handy, who knows?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I've got no idea. I just say random stuff sometimes. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's nothing.
yeah, the DM saying random things couldn't possibly come up later on. Nah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What was that question again? Sorry, it was
Have you seen any fire giants around here?
Look, I'm just going to call back to the memories of at least what Ember told us. Wasn't there for the conversation. There was one seen not by us but by locals walking along the coastline of some of these mountains.
You are in a most fortunate position, small folk. You are useful for what I need. You should endeavor to keep yourselves in that position. To be of use to one of the cloud giants is a most noble place to be. These halls, I am unfamiliar with their layout. There are most certainly things here. It would take me time to search and look through. But you could go places that I may not reach so easily. You may cover ground quicker than just me. Do this service, and you will find yourselves rewarded not just with the favor of the cloud giants, which is a currency all aspire to hold,
but with material value as well.
What would you have us do?
I am looking for something inside this place. It is in your interests if you care for this area around here. I am looking for the source connected to the eruption of this volcano. I seek to quell its fury. It will be a gemstone about here up to me. She indicates
in
to
my
her
mind,
waist.
I'm just going to sort of questioningly Niles, as in like, is she telling the truth? I know that this is my weak point and sort of
as this is going, I will I'll insight check her.
Can I too just sort of
Yeah.
with my
Absolutely.
cloud?
Yeah, that's
And
good. That's a
Harry
19.
would definitely do a perception check as well to like kind of get a bit of a vibe for her. 100%.
Yep.
What would Ember do? Ember might do the same. He's pretty perceptive as well. Actually, I'll have Ember give Harry advantage. They've got the same perception. So.
Especially when she's talking about the way she's talking, the hoity-toity attitude, the promise of.
Oh, this is
material
just
goods.
standard Cloud Giant. This is how they talk.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. Alrighty, so we've got a 9 on Lyra's insight. This is all very above board, Lyra. Nothing to see here. Nothing confusing or concerning going on at all. You do not need to be concerned in the slightest. 19 from Niles on the insight. 17 and 21 for Harry. We'll take the higher value, which is the 21. Yeah. 19.
She says
Niles.
she's trying to quell it.
No. She's not here for that. She's not lying. You do get the sense that that's a byproduct of what she wants, but it's not her goal. She's not here to quell it. She's not here to... I mean, she doesn't give a shit about the volcano erupting or the area around. The way she rolls her eyes as she kind of gestures. She doesn't give two shits about anyone who lives here, anyone who lives nearby, anything nearby. She doesn't care. What she wants, though, you do get the sense will result in the ring deactivating. And what's more, she didn't say anything about the ring. She didn't say anything about giant. She said, I want to stop the volcano erupting. She's not telling you the situation here either. So there's already more going on here. You get the sense.
I relay that back to Bart. I just say, there's something else greater at play here, Bart. She's withholding information from us.
What's more, with a 19, I'm going to give you a bit of retroactive insight. Retroactive insight as well. When she dropped the illusion of being a fire giant and asked if you'd seen any fire giants, there was a nervousness there, just for a moment.
Ooh,
she doesn't want to be found here.
Right.
Seen here as herself.
Niles also mentions that to Bart. She seems worried about the fire giants. Only for a moment. She was nervous about that.
We obviously want to help however we can, and it may not be a worry for you, but there are other small folk whose lives are at stake because of the problems, so we would love to quell this storm above. What's the first thing you want us to do?
There is a gemstone somewhere in this fortress, roughly as high as my waist. It will be a ruby, most likely, knowing the taste of the fire giants. It will be housed in a casing, metallic in nature. Are you following all this? I know your minds are very small.
Yes.
Good. If I am going too quickly, please wait till the end for questions. It will be large in nature, suspended most likely in the air somewhat. You need to find this and then come and find me. I will be exploring some of the upper chambers. You have come from the entry hall, no doubt?
We entered through the Ouroboros entrance, the large snake eating itself. Sorry, I don't know the terminology.
No, Ouroboros is right. You are more knowledgeable than I would have given credit to such tiny creatures. Yes. Interesting. Good. Well, you will likely see this symbol elsewhere in the facility. If you see it above an entryway with doors that are closed, most likely you will find the crystal in there. The Ouroboros is a symbol of continuation, We are looking for the power that continues the activities of this place.
I'll give a bit of a bow. I don't want to push our luck, but the worry of Satine comes into the back of Bart's mind for a second. Before we leave, just out of my own curiosity, we've been serving in the field for a while now. I was wondering how the relations between my feathered kin and the cloud giants have been going.
Oh, shit.
What relation? Why would we care about birds?
As far as the Owlin had been speaking in the theocracy, there was words of allegiances, or at least servitude.
Oh, your people occupy our old castle, the one that is crashed in the southern islands chain. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Niles will pipe up, actually, at this point.
I believe that there are conversations happening between our Duchess and your Zishi? Yes. The demand is for all of the birds to vacate our property.
Fuck.
As long as conflict hasn't started, that's all I worry about. And I'll give that bow again.
Conflict? No, there will be no conflict. It will be, by your choice or ours, removal. And trust me, it is better if your people just leave. Far quicker, far less messy.
I'll make sure that I remember that warning. In my mind, shut up, please. We don't want to start a fight right now. I'm just as stressed as you are. She just mentioned my fucking dad.
I'm like, what? Get all tense, just like, okay, I'll try.
And yeah, I guess I'll start walking towards the back doors that what's his name? Harry mentioned.
So a moment, please. Owlin, you are the warriors from the plane of air.
Yes.
That is correct.
You have not yet conquered this realm in our absence. What are you waiting for?
Unfortunately, the portals to head back had been closed back during the times of elves, dwarves, and dragons.
You mean to tell me none of these... The elves, the dwarves, the dragons, they could not get our things working when we left?
No, not without the Ananian.
Oh, that is funny. And here I was thinking they were so competent for getting rid of us, yet they could not make our things work. Fascinating.
I'm sorry. You think that the small folk were the ones that were responsible for your removal from this world?
Oh, it is hard to hear the chatter of a small mind such as yours. Please go about your business. Find the source of this energy and do not trouble yourself with things far grander than yourself. It is better that you stay in your place.
I'm actually going to backhand the side of Niles' head. And I'm sorry for the insolence. We'll continue.
I've come to expect this. In our absence, this land has lost respect. Do not worry. We will make sure you find it again.
Okay. So, our relatives given orders a long time ago. That's a revelation.
Peace. Yes. He's so angry right now.
I don't often get to play an absolute cunt of a character. I'm very enjoying it. It's very fun. This is excellent.
I'm just liking all these the things that we already knew were like big story plots are now having more revelations coming for. Okay. Yeah, look, I'll continue with the pathway that Harry was saying. as I'm not even sure if we want to do what she's saying, or maybe even do it just for now. But I definitely want a moment to Niles. We need to get somewhere away from her so we can at least discuss again. That was a lot of information.
But I don't like her. I don't like her at all. She's the heiress, our people, our city. But what are we going to do?
I don't know. I know this is a silver lining, but maybe my family didn't betray me. I don't know what Vice was saying with my brother, but if we were ordered so many generations ago to conquer the world, maybe my family and my father's why we didn't.
The theocracy has always been peaceful up until recently. I mean, obviously there have been moves, a power struggle, of course, as we know. Nyx is arming up, but maybe you're right. Maybe the royal line has been trying to keep peace to a degree, or it could be because the portals were shut. I don't know. This is all too much.
One thing you would know that your characters would know that. So at no point were the Owlin, Aarakocra, or Giants on Nostea at the same time. This is the first time these people have ever been together on Nostea. The Giants disappeared long before the Owlin.
Okay, so they would have had to have had contact to them
prior to
them.
So the Owlin Aarakocra came through hundreds of years later when the gods battled and broke down the walls of reality. When the gods and the betrayer gods fought, and that created these unstable portals, the elemental planes and loads of other places. That's when the Owlin and Aarakocra came through, thinking, another land ripe for the taking. And then the portal was only open long enough for one seed to be pulled through, and that was it. They're all stuck there. And it's like, oh shit, no reinforcements.
Do you know much about World of Warcraft lore?
A little bit.
We are the Legion. We're the Legion.
You're the Burning Legion.
Yeah, we're the Burning Legion. Yeah. The Cloud Giants are the ancient demons, and we are the Burning Legion that they use to just send and conquer. Why the Aarakocra have probably been conquering everywhere is because the Cloud Giants probably gave them Cloud Giant teleportation technology. And they've just been using that to conquer place after place. We didn't make any of this ourselves. We're just... Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
Cool beans.
Sweet. Cool.
As you begin to walk towards the enormous double doors at the back of the room, these enormous stone doors inlaid with that chromatic metal again, you watch as the Cloud Giant turns, seeing you approach the massive door, raises her hand and clicks it. And as she clicks her fingers, the doors begin to swing open, allowing you passage through.
Okay. So she controls the doors. That's a worrying concept if we fight her.
Lyra.
I'll keep going.
Before we finish, can I thank her for, just, thank you, as we keep going?
You watch as she turns and looks down at you, Lyra, sort of really noticing you for the first time. It's the first time you kind of spoken up. She's not really paid much attention to Ember or Harry. She probably assumes Harry's your pet. You've dressed up in a cute little outfit to tag along. But as she looks down at you, Lyra, you watch as she kind of pauses and wrinkles her nose and goes, "You are elf kind."
Yes.
Smell of Fey. You are from there? Feywild elf.
It's a long story that I don't think you'd be interested in, but
you are correct.
Technically, yes.
That smell, that reek of Fey magic. I have not smelt it since your kind first piled through the portal. I thought that the ways were closed. You just said that the dwarves, elves, and dragons could not get the portals opening once more once we were banished. Yet you reek of the Feywild. Hangs on you like a stench.
As you all came back, the ways were once again opened, I guess.
You do not know you are lying. You watch, she turns away and goes back to her machine, not paying any attention to you anymore, Lyra.
Look, in case we do come back wanting to start a fight with her, Lyra does prompt one last goodbye, I guess, from Bart. As well, just to gauge her reaction.
You tire me.
I'm sorry. was something the stone giants asked of us last we saw them. They were asking us about a Corius, if we could get in touch with them.
As you say the word Corius, you watch as her face, for a moment, the mask slips. No insight check required. You watch as she looks very surprised and almost something else under the surface there to hear that name. And then the mask is back.
Check that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I insight check that?
Can I too?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And as the mask comes back on again, this imperious, judgmental look, she looks down her nose at you. 15 and 17. Clearly the stone giants have let their brains harden into the rock they shift through. Corius has been dead for a long time.
I'm sorry, they wanted us to get information, but I know that you are higher in the ordering, so that's fine. I will follow what you are saying.
You watch as she turns back towards the machine once more. 15 on the insight. For a moment, sadness as well. Niles, deeper than that, a grief.
Oh, shit.
Lyra, that's your ex-lover!
Ex-lover! Wow. Wow.
Maybe we have to kill her!
I'm going to tell you right now, your giant echo, that'd be funny. That'd be very funny to see how that would go down for you. Yeah, that'd be very entertaining. As you all begin to move away towards the double doors, Harry sort of like keeping close behind. Harry's like, I was going to ask her a question, but I think maybe I'll wait till after when she's not so angry with us and when we're not like...
Harry, I don't think she's going to be much more amicable than what she was just then. Just saying.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I saw a question from Jay. Does Corius, your giant echo, have a face tattoo? No. Corius does not have a face tattoo. We haven't really gone too into detail about the appearance of your giant, but Corius, I think when we first went through the description, if I remember correctly, Ali, she had was it very, very long hair that kind of billows out into that big cloud behind her, kind of like moving around. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I was trying to like remember
Big,
almost like
fluffy sort of cloud.
Yeah.
But as far as cloud giants go, maybe on the slightly scruffier almost side, being with the artificer background.
Yeah, a bit more lanky.
It works with her hands rather than being pure magic.
Is Corius male or female?
Female. Corius is female.
Okay.
Yeah. She also, if I remember correctly, she had that kind of like very light violet skin color, didn't she? It was almost a bit more. Is that right, or am I?
I think so. I think I never really did too much of a.
I should draw your giant echoes. I should do that. I will set aside some time to do that.
That would be cool because
it's not like I've got like a fucking shitload of character art to do for bloody Tales from the Yawning Portal team. I'll make some time. I'll make some time.
Portraits?
It'll be fine. Only takes me 14 days to do each one. No, it doesn't. It depends on how busy I was. But I'm getting quicker.
It'd be cool to do like end of this campaign, like an overlay of like all of our echoes behind us.
That'd be cool.
That's what I was imagining, is like the kind of like partially transparent versions of your giants behind you, almost like a shadow. Perfect. As you head through the corridor, getting out of line of sight with her and moving away, this enormous corridor continues in a winding spiral into what looks like a series of upper levels. And as you begin to walk away, you're far enough now that you don't think she can... Well, she definitely can't see you, but you don't think she can hear you either as you move a little bit further away.
Okay, what did we gauge? Obviously, she says she's trying to help. Does she mean that? I'm not good at reading people.
I don't like her, Bart.
I know.
Say that it's not that she's here to help us, but I think her interests will just happen to align with our goals.
Yes, sorry. I'm letting my emotions get to me. You're absolutely right, Lyra. I think she's here for other reasons rather than altruistic ones.
Yeah, the reason I would say, Niles, straight away, just with your passive insight, the reason Bart doesn't have any of the same worries as you is there's a lot of happy copium happening right now.
I know.
My family loves me. Everything's okay. Yeah. Like they were actually trying to save people, and there's like a smile across his face at the moment, I would say.
You're huffing.
Also like
military grade copium and hopium right now. Like
yes.
really, like 2
literally
million
trained your life
cc's.
to deal with this. Yeah. Like you in your position, you have trained to deal with these pressures. Whereas like Niles is like, yeah, he's a monk, but like he's still like, shit, these are my people. Like I don't have that level of like intrinsic.
But this is political, and you have never been trained in politics, Niles. Like calming yourself, finding your center, absolutely. But this is so much bigger than just finding your heartbeat and slowing it within your chest, controlling your breathing. This is much bigger.
Apparently, also working completely against the philosophy of the theocracy, which is obviously very violent. Now that Niles actually thinks about it,
really shitty way as well. Looking at it with Bart, I guess, being better in this aspect than Niles. My performance, putting on the performance of being a politician, like always being what the person wants to see in front of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, Niles is not good at that.
Okay, well, I'm worried that we are maybe having a repeat of Nyx. We stopped Obsidian Foot and in conjunction pushed Nyx's plans forward and helped her. I don't want to help this cloud giant, this woman, if it aligns with us, if it then also creates deeper problems in the future. But Ember, I know that there's your people and we can't do nothing.
Yeah, I really need to shut off this volcano. And I'm going to be honest, if she has a way to do that, I'm keen on doing it, but I also don't trust her.
No, yes, I 100%. I want us to be wary as a cohort of where that line crosses when we think we've done enough to help your people.
Do we need to even go back to her? Didn't she say we were looking for like the power supply? Could we just disable it ourselves, cut her out of the picture, and then get out of here? Skedaddle before she finds us?
Do we know how to turn it off?
Figment might.
I mean, we do have the Heartstone. She doesn't know that we're quite that adept with the giant tech.
If it shuts off the rings 100%, I'm just worried that maybe she's replacing a power source and what we're getting is a backup, not the main one.
Yeah.
We do have an issue. Well, no, not so much an issue. The other option is we find the fire giant. She seemed worried about the fire giant. We could always convince the fire giant to come and they could just deal with it, and we could just swoop in later and do what we need to do. But I mean, Ember's witness may have also been her in disguise. The only evidence that we have that there was a fire giant even here is from Riz's vision that you were talking about, that you saw, right? The figure, the humanoid figure turning the this structure on. That's the only thing we've got that we can actually say that might be a fire giant. But other than that, there's no real solid evidence to say that there was ever. Well, was it just the groaning of the machinery? It did seem organic, didn't it?
Yeah, and I doubt that would have been her. I mean,
she only just arrived.
Yeah.
What if
Oh, sorry, Harry goes. Oh, she only just arrived. I saw her sort of floating in. She come from the. Oh
she
shit!
Came now.
The Makin Setu and Rilia were on the boat out that way. She would have come past them.
Oh. Should we go check on them? We should probably go check on them.
We'd have to go back through the room that she's in right now. I'm getting the sense that she would be a bit tired of us if we went back right now after she gave us these orders and we questioned her quite a bit.
If she can fly through the sky, she wouldn't have a reason to go above the water's surface. I know that that's a...
Or the climb.
Optimistic thought, but...
She would have seen them, though, surely.
But would she have cared? She didn't seem to give two shits about us. Like, she just told us to fuck off, really?
Yeah.
I mean...
We have to trust that they can take care of themselves for a little bit. Unless we have any other ideas.
I do have one, but I'm trying... Give me a moment.
He's thinking really deeply.
I like it when he does this. It's great.
Bart is going to start forming an arcanic circle for the beginnings of a spell. I only have one second level spell slot back that I thankfully got because of the Giant Dream, being able to do like the Channel Divinity from a short rest. Oh, no, not the giant dream, because we weren't able to do something during the boat ride here. That's small short rest we got then. I would like to use it to cast Locate Object. And she wasn't wearing any, as far as I saw. Have we seen any blacksmithing gear? Or has it all been sort of like abandoned, nothing? Is there like a old mine, is there mining gear everywhere, or has there been no blacksmithing gear?
So far, the 2 chambers that you've explored, the storage room and then this enormous chamber that looks like some sort of like antechamber or meeting hall, haven't had any tools or anything in.
Okay, I would like to locate object on a blacksmith's hammer.
Absolutely. What's the range of your locate object again? I believe it's like 600 feet, isn't it? It's huge.
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
Whoa.
Yes. And it's the closest one that gets triggered, yeah? Or is it all? No, it wouldn't be all of them.
It lasts for 10 minutes, and the spell can locate a specific object. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind.
Yeah. The nearest, like blacksmith's hammer, up above you, and a little bit towards the south. Looks like the floor above, and maybe a room or 2 south.
I'm just going to, because it only lasts 10 minutes, and I don't know how long it might take us to get there. I think some magic is pointing me in the direction maybe of the fire giant. And I'm going to just quickly try to start jogging. Can someone find a way upstairs? Because I know my investigation is trash.
Sure. I fly up, have a look, see what I can see.
As you take to the air, flying up the corridor. Again, this is a spiral corridor made for giants. It is huge for you. You are dwarfed as you move through this area. But as you all begin to rush up to the floor above, it opens onto a beautifully carved stone, almost like a stone platform that leads down. You think into the room below. That hole that you saw in above is actually an enormous well, sort of set in the very center of this enormous opening. A massive chamber, the walls again made of that solidified molten rock. And you can see all around a series of rooms branching off, forming that hexagonal shape once again. Above, tubes leading down into the center of each of these rooms. And while you can't see into them yet, the nearest one to you on the right-hand side, the locate object, you can feel that pull. There are blacksmithing tools in there. But as you emerge onto this floor, you hear the sound of hammer on metal. Ding, ding, coming from somewhere above. It's faint. It's only the passive perception of Ember and Lyra and Harry which picks this up. Because your wisdom, and probably Niles, you're pretty high wisdom as well. What's your passive perception actually?
16.
Yeah, so yeah, 100%. If you got a 15 or above, you start to hear this.
Look, I still think Giant's tools are going to be pretty rare and badass, so I will telepathically to Niles. Over there, can you quickly grab the hammer and then we'll head to the noise?
You want me to grab the giant hammer?
Maybe put it in the bag of holding? I don't know if it'll be useful for Anamium in the future.
Pretty big. I don't know if it'll fit. It's for a giant.
If it's just a blacksmithing hammer, though, I'm imagining it'll be the size of like a great club, right? Or like a war club?
A bit bigger than that. This is a giant hammer to smash down plate metal. I mean, this is pretty big.
It's this like
is as big as you are, but yeah,
pretty huge. Yeah.
As you move into this side antechamber, I'll describe the room for you. As you move into the side antechamber, you can see an enormous anvil. Beautifully cast, this dark iron with swirls of these like patterns drawn into the side, resembling like almost like Celtic knotwork made of flame, moving around the outside. It is gorgeous. There is a corpse half draped over the anvil, clutching a hammer, the corpse of a fire giant. Mummified, the red hair not alight, blazing with flame, but this dull orange, no longer alight with flame, just this dull orange hair, partly mummified, clutching onto the hammer, half leaning over the table. The back of their hand, you can see a heartstone. The floor around them is covered in ash, blackened. And the anvil is, as well, similarly coated in a layer of ash.
Harry, you can catch up to us pretty quickly. We're going to head to the noise. Can you pry that free?
What, the Heartstone or the hammer? I can't
Yes.
really pick up the hammer.
The Heartstone.
Maybe it might be able to just do a download of the memories to figure out what happened, if that's what you're interested in.
That'd
Yeah,
work.
I'm just
We
a little
also know
bit
that-
cautious about going up close to this thing. I mean, how did it die? And could I die if I go close to it?
Yeah, I was worried about that ash, actually.
Okay, I'll look. I'll
Just
run
because we
over to
came
the-
from a town full of bodies that were like made of ash, I'm just thinking personally
Yeah.
that's not something I want to be close to.
I'll
Visual-
run over to the body.
Oh, I was going to say, before that goes, just visually, can I sort of see, is there any sort of obvious blunt force trauma or anything on the...
Do you want to make me a medicine check? But initially, or perception, I'd say. But as you look, just running your eyes for a quick once over, there's no obvious signs of what killed this fire giant.
21.
21.
Oh, wow.
Lyra. This giant appears partly mummified, but it's more than that. All moisture has been burned from this body. In a single flash of intense heat, the moisture was evaporated, the skin collapsed, the organs solidified. It is almost petrified. This is a fire giant, and you're pretty sure from looking at it, it looks like it was killed by prolonged exposure to the sun or a flash of intense heat.
Oh.
But as you
I
rush
get the
over to the
feeling-
body, I did hear that, don't
fuck.
worry. I did hear that. As you rush over to the body, Bart, as soon as you get close to it, I'm assuming you go to sort of like grab the Heartstone to see what's...
Yeah. I know that we're all important, and not only that, but people with Heartstones sound like they're going to be one of the main ways that we can fight Hadar using giant technology. The more of these we have, the better. That's what's going through Bart's mind.
As you reach up to grab the Heartstone, the hand, the arm, crumble into ash. This isn't a body. This is what is left when everything has been burned away to nothing. Lyra, as you watch this crumble, you realize that surface isn't mummified skin. It is ash and soot still trapped in the shape of this body. And as soon as you touch it, you watch as the hand begins to crumble and fall apart, dropping to the ground. And as it does so, the stump where the arm was, you can see a few glowing coals, a few glowing embers alight in the arm. And you watch as drops of this red liquid begin to flow out of the stump of the arm, dripping to the ground, almost resembling blood, but glowing softly with this orange-red flame.
Did this have happened recently? Like, is the ash covered in like a fine layer of dust or anything to sort
21,
of
this looks like
give
it happened a
an
long
indication?
time ago, a very long
Okay.
time ago.
And does it seem like it could be dragonfire, or does it seem like the volcano or something backfired?
You don't know. It's hard to say. Dragonfire certainly is hot, but I mean, this
fire
almost
giant.
looked like it cooked from the inside out, not the outside in. You suspect
Microwaved?
something else, maybe. And as this dark, glowing red liquid, this orangey red liquid begins to drip out, you watch as it slowly begins to form, rising up into this little tendril that then splashes back down into a single puddle.
Can I take a vial and take a sample? And then make sure it's thoroughly corked?
As you go to catch the vial, the glass in your hand shatters immediately. The heat causing the differential in temperature, shattering the glass. And as it does so, you watch as flames begin to leap up around the edge of the glass. And as it does so, the flames grow higher and higher. The body of the giant begins to crumble apart, falling as the last vestiges of it are consumed into this fire. As rising from its center, you see this tornado of flame. You watch as arms begin to reach out, wreathed in fire, as the metal of the Heartstone begins to melt and run towards this thing. And as it does so, it forms a crown of metal around the head of this fire creature. You watch as
the hearthstone crumbles away. No.
Yeah, the hammer as well, melting into pieces as it forms sections of armor and metal that lock into position around this fire elemental. In its the center of the helmet, where the eye holes are, you see dark black pits of nothingness. And as the eyeless mask turns towards you, you watch as the mouth opens. Does anyone speak elemental? Or primordial, I should say.
No.
Not this character. But can I cast...
Wait,
I feel
Ember
like it's a thing Ember would.
No,
Ember
he
might.
does not.
That's annoying.
It's Harry. I'll check Harry. Harry does not.
I think Thrain was the only one who spoke primordial.
Does it have an intelligence of greater than 3?
Yes, it does, definitely.
Can I do attempt to do a linking tattoo?
Yes, you may.
That's cool.
Yes, you may.
Fuck
As
yeah.
this creature made of flame rises from the body, you all hear, because obviously none of you speak primordial, you hear Iskakturvan as it rises up around you, rises up in front of you. Linking tattoo, I believe I have to make a save if it is unwilling, correct?
It's a contested check.
Contested intelligence check. Okay.
Ooh,
I am maybe not the person to be doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of us are. It's intelligence.
Yeah.
Let's have a little peek-a-rooney. Look, this thing's
Need
also
a necromancer already.
This thing's also not super
Yeah.
intelligent. I'll do a contested intelligence check. That is a 10.
13.
13.
Let's go.
Neg 1.
As you
Wow.
link with this creature, I'll put a picture of it in the chat so you can see it. As you link with this creature, scroll down so the chat can see it too. As you link with this creature, what do you say, Lyra? What do you say in your mind towards this form?
We didn't do this. How did you die? We wish to get you vengeance.
Oh.
Could you please make me a persuasion check with disadvantage?
Yeah.
The other thing I'm great at. 1. And
17's not a bad start. And 18.
That's so good.
You watch as the creature pauses, the anvil now beginning to melt underneath its hands, forming these massive scimitars made of metal as it basically begins melting all metal in the room to form more armor and weapons for itself. You watch as it kind of pauses and cocks its head, and you hear back, "You flesh burn with me."
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's not the same thing that the
Ah, that's weird.
those other dudes were saying.
That's weird.
Other things to say. That's cool.
Ah.
What do you say? It seems to have paused as it pauses. The metal's still running, forming scimitars, but it's that initial momentary aggressive stance. It is curious now. You watch as it kind of cocks its head. There's almost like draconic mask, this helmet forming. It seems curious.
We don't want to burn with you, but can we help you in some other way?
How about no on the burning? Would like to not burn.
Pain. As it looks at you.
Do you want?
I'm like standing directly in front of it, over my shoulder. Lyra, I really want to smite this thing.
Do you wish for us to end it? I guess.
No, you are same. Burn with us.
So we can't remove the pain.
Yeah.
That is going to be initiative, unfortunately. I'll bring you across to a little battle map.
Oh, cute.
We probably won't get all the way through this combat.
That's fine.
But this will be fun. I'm going to bring you across to the one I was going to use for this particular bit. I won't. Instead, we will use this one here. You watch as the area around the edge of this elemental creature begins to melt and fall apart. The hexagon stones underneath you giving way as part of the wall begins to collapse, lava seeping through as the edge of this area begins to burn. True to its word. I'll bring you across to
just
right
for
now.
context, sorry.
Hello.
Owen. Is this like a giant-sized elemental that's emerged from the giant?
Yeah, it's
corpse,
really
or is it-
big. Yeah, it's really big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's,
so
it's
the
pretty
fire
big.
damage is significant then in the like in the scheme of things. It's not like a little burnt hole in the bottom of.
Oh
the...
yeah, this is pretty decent. Yeah.
That hole in the floor, because we're one level up.
Oh, that's not a hole
we're
in the floor.
above.
Oh, so yeah, you guys aren't quite near that. That's a little bit further away from you. You've kind of turned
Right.
around to enter this area here where there was a
So it like in the
We're
context of
above
a
the room.
yeah, like in
that
the
we were in
context of a
before.
giant space, this is
Yes.
significant.
So that I'm using this map because I don't have a more appropriate one for this moment. It is not as big as this, the space that you have access to. What I'll do, I'll bring you over to here, and imagine that the area underneath this magma myrmidon is constantly turning into lava.
Oh, cool.
I was gonna say, are we above the room with the storm, this cloud giant
Yes,
in it? Like
you
we
are.
can't just yell down through the floor, and go, there's a giant fire guy up here.
You can, yeah, you can do that. Do you want to do that?
I'm gonna yell through the floor.
She's
There
not
is
gonna
no
fucking help.
response.
Worth a try.
Okay, but right up in its face.
Sorry, it is back a little bit. Bart was a little bit further forwards. Lyra was a little bit further forwards. Harry is absolutely at the back. Ember's at the back and Flicker at the back. Let me bring across the map on the stream, and I will load up initiatives. Could you all please roll me initiative?
Okay.
That's not a bad roll.
Oh, not a bad roll.
21 for Lyra, 22 for the Magma Myrmidon. Uh-oh. But let me add yours. For some reason, it did not come across.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh, shit.
You know what, Niles? I would love.
You know what I'm gonna do.
I would
You know what I'm gonna
love.
do. You know what I'm gonna do.
Harry has a fucking plus
Motherfucker.
10 to initiative. Harry has so much initiative. Harry has
Yeah,
too
I think
much
he-
initiative.
I think he took alert.
He did take alert.
Yeah.
Little cheeky bunny boy. Alrighty, let me bump up the battle music. I'll bring us across to a
I
map
am
as well.
going to, before as this happens, align, get my boy Bart onto the same initiative as me.
Yep.
And we're gonna just go to town.
Alrighty, I will
Alright.
set Bart
Brothers
to
for
25. You have the high
Also-
deck, so you are still first, but otherwise
That's fine.
that is all good.
Thanks
sorry.
to that ability, every member of the party has above 20 initiative at the moment. It's the best we've ever
Yay.
done.
Probably the best you'll ever do too. This is like
Yeah.
a series of incredible rolls that have suited you very, very nicely in this moment. Alrighty. So, why is that battle music so much more quiet? Let's pump up the battle music.
Actually, as per Align's ability, I can actually choose for the person I align to go.
Oh,
before
yes, you
or after
can.
Me.
Who would you like to go first?
So I think would it be in my best interest for Bart to go first?
That's up to you.
I reckon actually you, for a little bit of planning, just because my
Sure.
attacks, I'm probably going to try to move this thing at the end of it, like push it further away.
Okay. I mean, I can sort of do the same thing, but that's okay. Fuck. I guess Bart's gonna. I guess Niles is just gonna. Yeah. the close combat melee. Is gonna roll up to a burning creature and try not be cooked alive. Yeah. I think.
You can add some Unico and prone, because if you could make it go prone, that'd be lovely.
I could certainly try.
I look at its legs and I don't know if it's possible, but
It doesn't have legs.
I might-
As you look, it just seems to be rising from this molten metal.
You think if you kick molten metal, it'll...
How is the heat from this thing? Like, it's
It
pretty
is
hot, right?
intense. Yes.
Okay. Like, enough that, like, if Niles is gonna punch this thing, is he gonna take damage? Like, just purely from a perspective of, like, I'm a martial artist. Like, am I gonna get hurt if I get into close combat with this
You
thing?
can see this thing is shedding heat and light from it. You get the sense that moving close to this thing will come with some fire.
Ooh, okay.
You
I don't know
your
if this is
12 temp HP because we're entering into combat.
Yeah. Oh, how much is it? 12.
12.
So we'll add that to my thing. Now I don't know if this is actually how it's meant to work, but I would like to, with the Warrior of the Sympathy subclass, I haven't really used this a whole lot. I want to use Synchronize as a bonus action to make myself resistant to the creature's attacks. Now, I don't know what the creature's attacks are, but I kind of want it to be. I want to be resistant to the fire.
Yeah, so you can pick fire as the resistance. So you pick a type of damage. Fire damage is the one you would pick. That makes perfect sense. You gain resistance to fire damage.
So that's my bonus action.
How do we want to have this look? I guess as you look towards it, Niles, you kind of focus, remember your training, steel your mind, harden yourself for the blows to come. Absolutely. And you remember your elemental training you did with your mentor, training yourself at high altitude to buffer yourself to the cold, training in the deserts of Chiari at times to inoculate yourself to the heat to get you better equipped for that. As you steel yourself, it's more like a mind over matter kind of situation as you focus.
Absolutely.
Steel yourself.
My body is a river.
Exactly.
I am ice cold. A lot of that. And then I guess I'll do what I can do, which is just I'll go up to it and start punching it.
Fantastic. Makes things nice and easy.
Am I currently synchronized as well?
You would, yes. All of you have giant synchronization, yes.
Well, in that case, I will, with my first strike, I'm going to try...
Connection. Otherwise, there's too many synchronizers in your character sheet, yeah.
I will attempt to punch it, and I will, depending... I don't know if I have to declare that I'm using Unleash as my Storm Ward Giant Resonance or not, but I'm going to try and stun it with that ability, if that's possible.
No dramas at all.
I think it only comes into effect when I hit it.
When you hit, when you make a hit. It's the same as a stunning strike.
Okay, that's an 18.
18 does hit. It is the armor class.
Okay.
Incredible. All right, I'm going to roll the normal unarmed damage for this.
Yes.
Which is an 8. That's great. That's going to be 13 points of damage, and that will also I'll also do a 1d6 for the lightning damage, which is a 4. So that's 4 additional lightning damage.
And I need to make a con save to avoid being.
Sure do. Yep.
Done.
It's probably really high con, but I'll try my best.
That's a natural 1 for a total of 3.
Oh, that's so good.
That's what we want, baby.
That's what we want.
Deeply disappointing.
Oh, that's so good for us.
Yikes.
You have no idea.
That's awesome.
So it's stunned now.
It is stunned. That is a real shame.
That's so good. I still have another attack because I can attack twice. I'm going to attack just a regular unarmed strike this time around, which, because it's stunned, I do roll with advantage, I believe.
Yes, you do.
Fantastic. So that's going to be probably not enough to hit, as we know. I'll roll again. That will be a hit. I'm assuming a 21 is a hit, so I'll do some more damage.
21 is definitely a hit, yes.
Incredible. Yep. For another 9 damage.
Oh, I will mark that off.
Awesome.
9 more damage. Brilliant. Alrighty. Anything else on your turn, Niles?
I believe that's all I can do. I just take up a position ready to strike again, if need be. Not a ready action, but just a passive sort of martial artist's stance.
Now, you made a melee attack against the magma myrmidon.
I did indeed.
Within 5 feet of it, which means you take 7 points of fire damage. Halved, as you are now resisted.
Which is halved.
Down to 3.
Yay! That's fantastic news for me.
Perfect. Anything else on your turn, Niles?
It is stunned, so it can't actually do a reaction.
It can't make reactions, exactly.
It's stunned. I missed that. Sorry, I know
it's stunned it.
Throw, and we were all like, I heard like natural 1, but I.
That was for my con save against being stunned, unfortunately.
In that case, I can safely disengage from it, so I will step back.
You can. You move away. No problems at all.
Yep.
Bartholomew, I believe it is your turn.
Yeah, we're jumping this guy Jujutsu Kaisen style. As Niles runs up on one side, Bart is going to, I guess, slide, scratching his plate across the ground, and attempt to bat out the legs of this thing, the large wisping molten tail, attempting to try to topple the whole thing to the ground as it's distracted from the punches that are coming in the air from Niles. It's stunned, so I'll get an advantage.
Yep.
And as a part of making the attack, I'm just going to imbue weapon. So it's all going to be radiant damage. And I'll have a +4 on my attack roll. Bing, bang, boom. That is a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Which I will guess hits. I've got a free one, and I've still got a spell slot left, so... Do I save it for a natural 20? I might save it for a natural 20. I'm not going to Divine Smite, so it's not going to be as much damage. But just trying to get damage in general on is going to be... just 5 points of bludgeoning.
Yep, absolutely.
And... The lava that we see on the mini-map, is that there?
Only in the immediate area around it. It's not going to make any effect on you. You're fine.
Okay, so if I start pushing it out into that sea, it's not going to be worse for me.
No, it's not.
Okay,
More for effect.
Perfect. I'm gonna do that and shout out to my companions behind. Remember the methods. Do not group up together. And I'm going to push it 10 feet back and then charge further across the floor, trying to just move this thing away from my friends, so that hopefully if it does try to do some sort of spew like the methods did, it might not be able to hit too many people in the back.
Alrighty. It makes a strength save against the push, I believe.
Not this one. This is just...
No, this is just the weapon mastery.
Push from the weapon mastery. Yeah, correct.
Easy done.
And then I'll close the distance and go for a second attack with advantage, hoping to hunt.
Fantastic.
Natural 20. This one, as it sort of stumbles back, catching itself after hitting the legs, is just going to be coming up, attempting to hit the breastplate underneath. Oh, I didn't do +2, so another 2 on top of that. So 19 to hit is a hit, and I will put in, just to get it far away from my companions, a stone strike. So can I get a strength save from it?
Yes, absolutely. That is a 17.
17 is a pass, so it's not going to move, but it will take the damage. And okay, so it'll be bang, bang. Oh.
No, you're good. You're good.
Pretty high on the dice.
12.
14. Two more from my
Plus
modifier.
the 2. Yep.
14.
Done. And
sorry,
can you please take
damage?
5 fire damage for me, as you have made a melee attack within 5 feet of it?
Yep.
It's only once per turn, but I'll do it now on this attack. So the multi-attack doesn't give you like multiple bursts of the burning.
Still temporary hit points, so sort of like just dodging my head to the flames as I'm starting to heat up. 14 more radiant damage, and bonus action. Can I?
Oh, it's gonna be good.
You can drink a potion as a bonus action. Can I like douse my sword or toss? Not throw like athletically, but toss something as a bonus action.
What kind of thing are you thinking? Like a water skin, for example?
Like a holy water that I may have made earlier today.
I would allow.
Oh, yeah.
I would allow that. Yes.
I'll as I push it back that next time. So even though it passed the savings check, actually, it is going to move another 10 feet back just from the weapon mastery as I crack it in the chest. I'll close the distance again, wanting to try to keep its wrath here. Spread out as much as you can, and then from my back pocket, I'll grab it and just sort of like toss it in its direction. I know I don't need force because I've already seen it just blast glass apart. So I'm hoping it'll do the breaking part itself.
You watch as the glass vial flies through the air. As it gets close, the temperature differential causes the water to expand rapidly, popping the lid off the edge of the glass, causing it to spin in midair, spraying holy water across you and across this creature. The water hisses and fizzles away, evaporating in a moment. You're not sure what that did in the moment. It looks like this thing is so hot the water just evaporated into nothing.
That's fine. That'll be my turn.
All righty.
Actually, just in case, I will... What was it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to move 1 square down just to try to split us up.
Cool. Easy done. Harry's going to bonus action hide. That is going to be a stealth check for Harry. That's a 15. Harry is then going to make a heavy crossbow attack, and he will get sneak attack on this. That is going to be a hit. Oh, he's got advantage anyway. I'll roll it again. That is going to be still a hit. He is going to deal 13 plus 9. So that's going to be 22 points of piercing damage. That's including his sneak attack. And that is Harry's turn. The Magma Myrmidon is stunned. Every creature within 10 feet at the start of the Magma Myrmidon's turn takes some fire damage. That is just Bartholomew. That is going to be 10 points of fire damage, Bartholomew, as you are in the 10 feet radius of this creature at the start of its turn. There is nothing else it can do on its turn. Lyra.
Right. I think it might need a bit more water than that, Bart. And I'm going
like this
to,
much.
Tidal wave.
Fucking hell. Alrighty.
So Dex 15, but there we go. I'll just pop that in there.
Let's do a dexterity check. Dexterity saving throw. That's a 7. Christ, I am rolling bad for this.
Now, here's the question for a DM in this physics area. It's only dealing the pushing of the water hitting it. Is there any interaction with water on fire?
I'm factoring that in, don't worry.
The other thing is it's the water then spreads across the ground in all directions, extinguishing unprotected flames within 30 feet of it. Yep. And so I was hoping that it would sort of maybe be losing its power source as well. And it's also knocked prone, so I'm assuming it's fallen down into this giant puddle of water that's maybe, I don't know, doing some more shenanigans.
I've got something in mind for this, for how to deal with this. So, first up, could I please get you to roll me... I've just put the picture of the decanter of endless water from the new source book in the chat, because it is pretty cool when you look for it. It's quite nice. Could you please roll me the damage? I believe it is... strength saving throw. I failed. That was only a...
Dex saving,
7.
sorry.
Oh, Dex saving, sorry, yeah, still, it's only a 7. That's a fail.
Yeah. I rolled previously, it was a 16.
16, okay. 16 points of damage. As soon as the water strikes the Magma Myrmidon, 3 things happen. There is an explosion of steam as the water is superheated and expands rapidly. The Magma Myrmidon and Bart are both within 20 feet of the source of this explosion of steam. I need both of you to make me dexterity saving throws. So I will do the Magma Myrmidon. As the explosion of steam... That's a 20 for the Magma Myrmidon. Oh, wait, it's got
19.
disadvantage. It's still stunned. 19 is good. You will take...
Prone.
It can't be knocked prone. It's immune to being prone, unfortunately. Sorry.
Wait. Has it had its turn yet?
It has had its turn. So it's no longer stunned.
It's not stunned anymore.
Cool. Then that's fine. Okay, here's what happens. The explosion of steam burning out from this. That's going to deal 20 points of fire damage. Bart, that's halved for you and halved for the Magma Myrmidon as the steam explodes outwards. You watch as the Magma Myrmidon, the metal that was glowing red hot across it, has cracked in a number of places as the armor that has formed around itself has been cooled way too quickly, and that temperature differential has weakened and cracked the armor, creating this brittle surface. Looks like it might be a little bit easier to hit.
Definitely. Oh, and is the floor that I'm standing on around it? You said there was a 5-foot area of Okay, so it's no longer that molten hot.
It's not this molten red hot. It's wet and steaming, creating this sort of a cloud of fog around you. That's the other thing. The steam from this does create a fog cloud in this area. Let me drop it down. Sorry, I realized there were 3 things and I got halfway through. Let me drop the fog cloud down. Oh, let's use the animated one. I've got the animated fog cloud.
We've got a lot of positive things here, but is this acting like the spell fog cloud? Is this now heavily obscured terrain?
It's lightly obscured. It's not heavily obscured.
Okay.
Cloud of steam. Focused on the Myrmidon. There we go.
Flashback to like Madara taking on the entire army.
I've got to go like scientific. I don't have to. I like to use real world science. If you blast something superheated with water, it's going to make a massive cloud of steam around it. Superheated steam, for sure. This is what it looks like as you get that cloud of steam bursting around the Magma Myrmidon. Lyra, anything else on your turn?
Yep. So for my bonus action, I'm probably going to swampy up. Just sort of a
swamp up.
A bit of a health boost. And then for movement, I'm going to be 5, 10... 15, 20.
Fair enough. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Embers go next. Ember is going to look at this thing, turn towards you, Niles, as you're right next to him, and go, yeah, I don't think my fire damage is going to do much with this one. I do have something I can do, though, and I think this might be kind of helpful. Ember is then going to cast Fairy Fire centered on the Magma Myrmidon to try and give you guys all advantage to attack it, because there's not much else he can do. That is his last level 1 spell slot. So when Simon comes back and he goes, where are my fucking level 1 spell slots? That's where they went. I will roll a dex save.
Very good use, Simon.
Save DC for this is 15. It's a 9. The Magma Myrmidon. The Magma Myrmidon is now wreathed in this spectral blue flame. Let's do that for Fairy Fire. Ember is then going to move a little bit over this way, not wanting to be grouped up with Flicker on his shoulder. If anyone needs a teleport, just give me a call.
I was going to say, just before Ember ends his turn,
yes,
can I yell out and just maybe use a reaction or something oh, hey Ember, do you want the decanter of water again? Just in case it's helpful for putting us out if we catch fire.
I'll let you know next week. We'll see. So actually, not next week, but we'll see. If Simon's not with us next session, yes, Ember will take the decanter of endless water off you as his final action, as his bonus action. He'll rush over, take it, and then move back. Awesome sauce. As we get back to the top of the round, that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. We'll do a single round with this and we'll jump in next session. I'm just seeing, your initiatives. No one is below 20. That is incredible.
That's wild.
That's amazing. I don't think we'll ever see that. Never see that. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Let me bring us back to the webcams. Thank you so much for an awesome session. We hope you have enjoyed. We will see you all again very, very soon. Now, I do have some bad news I didn't say at the beginning of the episode. If you are sitting there accusing me of hiding the bad news at the very end of the episode, you are 100% correct. Unfortunately, we don't have a session for Return of the Giants next Wednesday. It is my partner's birthday, so we are going away for a little long weekend getaway. I will not have access to the internet for that day or the following 4 days, which is going to make it hard to run the stream. So no Return of the Giants next week, unfortunately, but we will be back the week after, and we will be back having so much fucking fun. Until then, everybody, thank you so much. Lovely Twitch people, don't go anywhere. We are going to bring you across to a raid. For those of you watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, thank you again. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guessed that the fire giant was actually the cloud giant with the illusionary disguise, you are a very extra special person. You get to subscribe as your reward. Legend. Thank you so much. If you didn't guess it, that's okay. Hit the subscribe button, and next time you'll get advantage on that check, and you'll nail it. Super easy.
There you go.
Perfect. Let's go and raid. Who are our friends who we can go and raid tonight? Roll Together are playing Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, could be fun. Otherwise, we've got D&D Infinite XP are currently doing the Tomb of Annihilation. They've been going for an hour. Let's go jump in and raid them. I think we raided these guys last week. Yeah, we did. Nice. Awesome. I will get this up and running. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all next time. Until then, stay safe, stay well. See you guys all again soon. Goodbye. See ya.
Bye.
Mwah.